Hello my loves, Tony here from TL Crafts and welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be a little bit different because I am taking you on a trip with me. I'm actually headed to Chicago for H+H, which is a really exciting fiber arts based trade show. We used to have events like this before, but unfortunately all of our other trade shows went away. So this one is only in its second year here in the States. It originated in Germany. They still have events over there, but this is the second one that they've had here and it's heading back to Chicago. I was not able to go last year, unfortunately, but I was like, I have to go this year. I absolutely have to. Nobody's keeping me away from this. So I'm currently just waiting for my Uber. I just took my dog out for a walk and I have to tell y'all, I've only had a dog for a couple of months, but it's a pretty exciting experience. As somebody who's only been a cat person for a very, very long time, it's kind of cool having an animal that is maybe a little bit more high maintenance, but they also emote a little bit better, which is nice. Not that I need that necessarily, but it's just something you don't get with cats. It's just a little bit different of an experience. Only issue is he decided to chase a squirrel right in the middle of our walk. My heart about jumped out of my chest. He didn't get too far, thankfully. I'm excited to take you along with me. You might be surprised to know that I'm a bit of an introvert. I actually don't like to talk to strangers very much. So when I go to events like this, I usually have some role to play, like I'm doing the keynote or I'm teaching a class or something. Well, that's nothing like that with this experience. I'm just going to participate. I'm gonna go to some classes. There's some mixer events and I'm gonna go to this giant marketplace, hopefully see some new products, meet some really interesting people. So I'm gonna take you along with me in hopes that it makes this less of a daunting experience because my social meter runs out incredibly quickly. We'll see how this goes. So let's hop in the Uber. I'm pretty sure they just pulled up. I tell ya, Chicago does not love me. I have had such an adventure getting from that airport to this hotel. I tell you what, I don't know what it is about O'Hare, but like I get turned around in airports all the time. This is why I prefer to travel with people because they know how to ask for help or directions, and I hate doing both of those things. Regardless, I found the shuttle. I am now at my hotel. It is about 50 minutes before the first event of H+H starts. The very first event is an influencer mixer. I'm gonna be meeting a friend there, which I'm very, very excited about, and hopefully making some new friends as well. Speaking of new friends, I met someone on the elevator at the airport trying to get to the shuttle. I cannot remember her name right now because I'm a bit, but she said she is going to be opening a yarn store soon. I think she said in Baltimore, Boston. I think it started with a B. If you happen to see this, just know that I remember that and I still think you are brave for opening a yarn store because it seems like a whole lot of work. I feel that way about everybody who opens a yarn store. So good luck and I hope all goes well. I am going to explore my hotel room a little bit. I do need to change before I go to this event. So I'm gonna take a moment to decompress a little bit and get my clothes ready and it'll be time for a wardrobe change. Ooh, I feel so cute. So I'm probably gonna be late for this mixer, but like, we'll go to these things on time. So I gotta pack up, call an Uber, and let's go make some new friends. Tell me about it.
Okay, so I'm Tara with Sew Tights, and this is our new magnetic cutting system. The mat is 7-layer self-sealing. It's actually double-sided, so there's a gray side and a black side. The ruler has magnets on it. And if you have a thick fabric, like a cuddle or a leather or a cord, you can use the boosters. So your mat, your system comes with 12 of these boosters. And this is 20 by 24, so it's a whole fat corner for the sewist. But we're gonna come out with different mat sizes, and we're actually like taking feedback on what mat sizes would be good.
Granny squares, granny squares.
Yes.
Hey lovelies, it is 10:21 and I actually just got back to my hotel room not too long ago. It has been a wonderful evening, but as you can tell, I'm already in my jammies because I was just so ready to come home and get comfy. But I have to say that coming to events like this reminds me how flipping important it is to get outside and interact with people. I think sometimes because we live in this digital world and we're experiencing people on these platforms as these personas, we forget that there's an actual person on the other side of this camera or on the other side of that screen. But it is hard to have that tangible understanding of that connection if we only see each other like this. So I'm grateful that H+H is here in the States now and we can come to this. This is a dedicated fiber craft and DIY trade show. So these are people that function within the business of that industry. I'm connecting with folks. I have 2 amazing meetings that I set up tomorrow that I can't tell you anything about right now, but if all goes well, it will revolutionize the way that I run TL Yarn Crafts. So if you are serious about yarn arts, if you are a designer, if you're a photographer, if you're a blogger, if you're just somebody who works in the craft space and is taking it seriously, this is the kind of event that you need to be at. But I would love to share with you what I got in my swag bag, which you're gonna see this thing and be like, Tony, what the heck is this? Look at this bag. It's bigger than you think. That's what I'm gonna say. You know what, where's my tape measure? Never leave home without your notions. Whether you're bringing your yarn or not, never leave home without your notions. Now, it's really tough to find a project bag that's big enough for everything, but the thing is ridiculous. 26 inches by like 21 inches. It's huge. This is for blankets, like that's what that's gonna be. So this is one of the bags that I received tonight. This is from a company called CROCHET. They're right there. We also learned about a company called GoSadie, which has a website that's gonna allow you to like upload patterns to multiple platforms at once. I also talked to a gentleman at Vivilux, which apparently is a classic magnification and lighting company. So they make like revolutionary lighting products for crafters. It's like they had this one thing where you like put it over your head and it was like this little light that would like rest on your chest, which makes so much sense if I'm working with black yarn. Like, of course I would love something like that. But a nice thing about it is you could add magnification to it. So you've got the light coming out here and then you could put a little magnifier here. I was also able to connect with my friend Jewel, who runs OML. And I just have to say, every time I'm in her presence, it's like a breath of fresh air. Like, I am just such a fan. But beyond that, Jewel put me in touch with some really, really cool folks here. And as nervous as I was about doing this trip on my own, I'm kind of glad that I did, because it gives me the flexibility to talk to whomever I want for as long as I want to and stay at an event longer than I need to, because I'm getting the hot goss from, you know, the people that know. Today is over, thankfully. I am going to wash my face and hopefully find something on Netflix to watch as I start to doze off. But other than that, I need to prepare for tomorrow and iron one of these outfits to wear, because tomorrow and the next day are quite long days. They are business classes, keynote addresses. There's a giant trade show floor where they'll have demos and interesting products to try out. But for now, Tony has to get her beauty sleep, so I'll see you tomorrow. Feel cute again, but I am gonna wear my glasses today because yesterday I didn't. I was feeling very cute. I was very cute, but I was also blind, and blind is not cute, nor is it professional. So like, I'm not exactly late yet, but I'm about to be late for a very important meeting this morning. So we gotta go. Come on, day 2, H+H, let's go. Funny story. So it turns out I'm actually over an hour early for this meeting I thought I was gonna be late for. So the time zone change got me again. This is not the first time on this trip that the time zone change has kind of screwed me over, but you know what? You can never get here too early, because I actually have a project that I can work on anyway, and I'm a bit behind the gun, so this works out perfectly. And the folks that I'm meeting with said they're gonna be here early as well, and we're all gonna have coffee together when it's time. I'm very much looking forward to that. I've got my trusty Lantern Moon Tunisian crochet hook and some gorgeous yarn. Look at this color. I'm trying to get it to not be so bright, but c'est la vie. Like, it's the most gorgeous, like tomato red, but it's got like this heathering to it. Can you see that? Oh, this stuff's gorgeous. Making a scarf in 90-degree weather. This is my life. This is what I do. Look what I ran into in the bathroom. Hi. The fabulous Charmaine, right?
Yeah, Charmaine.
Charmaine from Canada by way of Dress from LA.
Yes, yes.
And I mean, Fab doesn't even start to cover it. Like, so good. Hey honeybees, so your incredibly shiny and sweaty correspondent at H+H Americas is here, and it has been quite a day. Having this entire community of peers talking about the business side of this industry is incredibly refreshing. So I went to a workshop this morning about email marketing. We talked a lot about segments, about SMS, which is texting. They talked about, they also talked about flows, so automations, and I'm gonna give you a little bit of like insight of what they said about flows, because essentially a flow is a series of emails that your customer is going to receive after they've done some sort of action. So of course you've got your welcome flow, which is what you send to your new customers. But one thing that was really insightful that they talked about that I didn't realize is you should have 5 to 7 messages in your welcome flow that are spaced out in ways that make sense for your audience. So when I think of a welcome flow, I think of like maybe 2 or 3 emails. The first one, welcome to the list. Here's kind of the lay of the land. Second one is maybe my best-selling products. Third one is maybe my most watched videos. And then from there, I just kind of let them do their own thing. But they talked about kind of breaking it down even further. Maybe that first email is, again, that welcome lay of the land kind of thing. Second email is talking about your values and like who you are as a business, like really getting people to go from just being customers to better understanding your business and who you are, especially if you're the face of your brand, pulling them in a little bit closer as opposed to keeping them at arm's length like you would a normal customer. These are concepts I never even considered. And kind of bouncing off of that, I just had an amazing conversation about tech editing and having some kind of standards when it comes to pattern design. Because I know a lot of you out there are what I like to call baby designers, folks that maybe have 1 or 2 designs, maybe just kicked off in the last like 3 to 4 years, and you're really starting to build your library and build your customer base. One of the frustrations that I have as an established designer is I'm getting a lot of skepticism from new customers who have been burned by bad patterns. One piece of advice I'm going to give to you, create some standards for yourself. So 3 things that you should look to have. 1 is a style guide. So this is just a basic understanding of how you as a designer translate your language onto your patterns. Everybody's secret sauce is a little bit different. You're just kind of writing the recipe to that sauce, and that's your style guide. It's personal. You don't share that with anyone. So 1 is a style guide. 2, in order to create your style guide, you typically have to work with a tech editor. So that is somebody that works on the technical side of making sure a pattern is perfect. So they're going to talk to you about how you're using your abbreviations, how you're saying certain phrases, how you're laying out your patterns, things in there that might be confusing. So they're like the math, technical, sciencey folks, because we as designers, like, it's impossible to see your own mistakes. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've sent an email and then I'm on my own email list, of course, the email bounces back and there's like typo, and I'm like, oh my God. Think about this from the perspective of a designer, right? I've spent all of these months working up this sample, writing this pattern. I then send it over to someone who can now look at it with fresh eyes and say, hey, you might want to change this, this, and this. And then lastly, and depending on who you ask, this isn't necessary, but I think test makers are very important. So these are people that you're going to send that tech edited version of the pattern to, and they're going to make it up in different sizes. And since all of these folks are necessary throughout the process, you have to work in time to work with all these folks and to make tweaks based on their feedback. So just understand that as a designer, it is not just a matter of I see it, I make it, I put it out there. There's a lot more steps in that process. So it's great to be able to have that conversation here and understand that there are people in this industry that recognize that some of the standards, some of the expectations when it comes to specifically crochet patterns, we're starting to lose a little bit of it only because we have incredibly confident people coming into this space, coming into this industry, and maybe don't have the understanding of how to build that plan or how to point themselves in the right direction to make sure they're doing sound pattern writing. Now, of course, we talked about how we solve that, how we give those baby designers a little bit more of a roadmap of how to build their new business. But unfortunately, we don't have a voice to kind of lead that charge. So you know what that means. I got to start planning and plotting. And thankfully, I'm not going to be doing this on my own. I was, again, able to connect with somebody here who is very interested in doing something similar. Hopefully in the next months and, maybe less than years, but hopefully in the next 6 months, you'll see something coming out of TL Yarn Crafts that's more focused to the design side. Okay, I'm gonna hop off my soapbox really quick because I have another session this afternoon. Let me see which one it is. I'm gonna skip the 1 o'clock sessions, but I do have a 2:15, and then at 3:30, there's a designer and LYS roundtable. So it's answering several questions about how designers and local yarn stores can work together for success. I'm gonna go get into some other things, and I will probably see you when I make it back to my room tonight. All right, bye. All right, honeybees, I am back in my room while the sun is out, so you know that means mama is tad. I've been peopling very hard today, and I'm super proud of myself because I talked to a ton of people. I promised myself whoever came to my... Excuse me, excusey. I promised myself that whoever came in my path today, I was gonna have a conversation with. And I talked to so many people that I completely ran out of business cards. Like the little stack that I brought with myself today, I completely ran out of them. Rookie mistake, but I'll have more tomorrow. So today's H+H day was amazing. I had such a great time, and I got to meet some of my absolute favorite people. I got to meet Sarah of Repeat Crafter Me. I got to see Marley of Marley Bird again. I remember I originally met her, I think it was either a year or two ago. I like accosted her in a Chili's, like full on fangirl style, but thankfully she knew who I was as well, so it wasn't like totally weird. So it was really nice to be able to run into her again. And I got to be interviewed by Tamara Kelly of Moogly Vlog, and I had to give her her flowers in that interview because she's one of those people that got me super excited about crochet when I was just really getting into my journey back in like the mid-teens of the 2000s. Now I'm back in my room. I'm gonna be heading down for dinner soon, and then after that I'm gonna have a stitchy, very quiet evening because I decided that tomorrow is actually going to be my last day here at H+H. I'd originally planned to be here for 1 additional day, but you know what? Mama tad. I am so tired. So thankfully Delta had a flight. I'm gonna be getting on it tomorrow evening, and I am heading home. Like I got to go. So tonight's project, I'm gonna show you. This is the start of it. I just kicked this off today. I can't tell you what it's gonna be. It is definitely curling and curving a little bit, but 'tis the flavor of Tunisian crochet. It's just something that it does. But just understand that this is the start of something incredibly exciting that I will be telling you about in the fall. So just know you saw it here first. It's time for dinner, it's time for jammies, and it's time for crocheting and mindless reading. Let's go. Hey honeybees, happy third day of H+H, and I woke up tired and homesick and just ready to go. So I went on the Delta app and I told myself if there was a flight out this evening after all of my H+H stuff is done, I was gonna take it, and there is one right around like 7:30, 8 o'clock. So I'm heading out tonight instead of tomorrow. I've reached my limit of not being in my home, in my bed. I miss my husband, I miss my dog, I miss my cat, I miss my stuff. Today is gonna be a jam-packed, full, exciting day. This is the day that I've been waiting for all week long. I finally get to go to the showroom floor. Now, the way that trade shows work is typically there are business meetings, there are keynote addresses, there's lots of auxiliary events going on to make it worthwhile so you can leave with some great ideas and insights. But then there's also the trade room floor, where businesses from all around the world set up booths to show you their best-selling and newest products. So I'll get to try some things out, see some things for the very first time, and share them all with you. I'm gonna be recording pretty much the entire time I'm on the showroom floor, so you're gonna be seeing a lot. Well, all the good stuff. I'll cut out the fluff. So I am all packed up. My suitcase is right here. My other bag is here. I am fully dressed and ready to go. And if I can get in an Uber in about 10 minutes, I'll still make it to the Craft Trends presentation that happens this morning. But if not, I'll just drink some coffee and crochet on a bench for an hour until my next thing. Chicago has been fantastic. Let's go do this last day of H+H and head home. All right, I just wrapped some really cool conversations about trends that are coming up, and also had a great chat about why tech editors are imperative, super duper important. So I am about 10 minutes away from missing Melissa Liebman's book signing, so I'm gonna see if I can get there in time. So obviously I was able to meet Melissa. I got a free copy of her new book that comes out. It's called Instant Knits. It's like chunky stuff, thin stuff, a little bit of everything, and it looks like it's really great for beginners. So hopefully this will help me on my personal knitting journey. But I want to give a lot of love to Melissa Liebman. She's one of those people that I followed real heavy when I first started designing, and she's definitely one of those trailblazers in our industry that people don't know her name, and I think that's a shame. But she's fantastic, technical skill, like the nicest person as well. So hopefully we will be seeing more of her around TL Yarn Crafts, so I will let you know. So now it is my turn to walk the floor. There are 12 aisles worth of stuff, so I have a lot to see and not a lot of time to see it, so let's go.
A lot of this all over our new fall collection.
Tell me about it.
So we've got a couple new yarns. This one's called Mystico. It almost like illuminates from the core, and it's like got that brushed alpaca look to this one.
Oh my gosh, I just came from the trends meeting, and they said that brushed look is very ends-all. Y'all are on the cutting edge.
Really colorful, all over color yarn, but we held it alongside of our Ariel, which also got that brushed
that
look.
Feels like heaven. Look at that. It's crochet, y'all. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Stunning, stunning. Oh my gosh. Oh, that feels so nice. Look at that. That texture. Gorgeous, yummy bobbles. Called?
The mesh tote. Maker's mesh tote.
Maker's mesh tote. Okay. All right, y'all. Here's the thing that you've been waiting to see all day. It's the Maker mesh tote from TLYC that you can get from Jimmy Beans. Apparently these are out. I had no idea. So after I go get mine, you go get yours. Okay, bye. And here we have Miss Heather of UU. Can you tell us a little bit about your yarns?
Oh, sure. We make all nice, bouncy, squishy merino wool yarns.
Gorgeous.
And they're all washable, and and they come in a beautiful like painter's palette of solid colors. And then just this last year I added a heathered version. You can see, so this is the regular solid color, and then the heather adds in a little bit of charcoal and gray, and look what it becomes. Like,
oh my gosh.
just totally different.
Totally different colors. I took a little break in roaming the floor to have a chat with my friend Irina. Irina runs a YouTube channel called Fiber Chats where she interviews fiber artists from around the world. I just met Irina here at H+H, but she is someone I will never forget. She is so smart, so talented, so motivated, so passionate about fiber arts, and she brings out the best of the stories of the artists that she interviews. I'm so grateful to have had a chance to sit down with her and kind of talk about my process and my history, but from a very unique perspective. Irina is so thoughtful in the questions she asks, and she gets to the heart of why we do the things that we do. So if you have even just a moment, please check out her YouTube channel, Fiber Chats. I have it linked down in the description, and make sure you check out some of the amazing conversations she's had. Thank you so much, Irina, for having me. It was such a joy to meet you, and I will never ever forget you. We're here at Kelborn Woolens, and I got stopped by this cutie patootie right here, and I heard he does a magic trick, so let's all see it. What's your name, Ellie?
My name's Ellie.
Ellie, can you show us his trick, please? Oh my god, he's so cute. Hi, friend.
Herman.
Cute. Herman?
Yeah.
Cute. I love Herman. He's adorable. This stuff feels so good. Oh, thank you. How cute. Oh my gosh, that's adorable. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Gorgeous. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Beauty girl. Thank you so much. Lovely. Oh my god. Sisters. Hey honeybees, so as you can tell, I have made it home safe and sound. I was hoping to record Humbun's reaction when I got home last night, but it was quite late and he was not in a state of dress that would be appropriate for this medium, so just suffice it to say that he was very excited to see me, and I was excited to see him as well. So I'm really glad that I did make the decision to come home early, even though that cut into some of the more social time that I could have had at H+H. But I will say, I think I got my fill, and when it comes to the inspiration, the education, my cup is overflowing right now. H+H was the exact experience I needed for this very moment within my business. If you ever feel yourself becoming stagnant or not being able to reach for new and interesting ideas, that means you need to get around the people that have that really good energy and that great artistic spirit to just kind of spark that in you again. Get an understanding of not just what your customer wants from you, but also what your peers in your industry need from you. H+H is a trade show, so that is for people who own businesses and function in a business capacity here in the craft industry. But if you're looking for that inspiration, that motivation, you just need to get around your other maker friends. Go to your local yarn store, go to a sip and stitch at your library, check out some fiber festivals or conventions that are happening. And you can find these with quick Google searches, either find something local to you, or if you're able, travel a little further out to some of the bigger events so you can get a better sense of how this industry operates. Now, I did come home with a couple goodies that I'm excited to share with you. Earlier in the video, you saw that I stopped at the Clover booth and I met the wonderful chief marketing operator. Her name is Mayumi, and Mayumi sent me home with a couple little goodies. First off is this right here. So they redid the Carry T set. Now the Carry T set is their interchangeable Tunisian crochet hook set. I received the original Carry T set from the Clover booth when I visited TNNA years and years ago. So they have upgraded this set. I haven't opened it just yet, but from what I saw in the booth, they've updated the case that it comes in and maybe some of the accessories. Now I was able to find this on Amazon. For some reason it's like $250. I don't know if the original set was that much, but that seems quite high for a set of bamboo hooks. So I'm gonna open those up at a later date. If you would like to get a closer look at those, let me know down in the comments. Now on top of the Carry Tees, Mayumi also blessed me with these Etimo Reds, which, oh my gosh, I have been planning to get my hands on these for a very long time. I have the regular Etimos. They have like the gold tip and the black handle, I believe. I don't use them a ton because they remind me a lot of my Clover Amours and I just prefer those. But these are just sexy. These are just gorgeous in this cute little polka dot case. Like I'm living for it. I'm very excited about it. And these are about 78 bucks on Amazon, so you can get them for a more reasonable price, and they have a lot of positive reviews. I'm pretty sure it's one of the few 5-star products that I've run across in the crochet space on Amazon. I've got links to both of these products down below so you can check them out. And you better believe that I'm going to be following up with my friends at Madeline Tosh to get that Maker mesh bag in mustard. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I was just ogling it on the Jimmy Beans Wool website today, and it is absolutely beautiful. They are available for pre-order right now, and I'll put a link to that down in the description as well. Alrighty, my loves, it is dreary and gorgeous outside, so I have coffee brewing, and my favorite spot on the couch is sitting vacant for me, so I gotta scoot. But if you enjoyed this video, smiled, learned anything at all, make sure you give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel for more crochet goodness. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time. Bye!